Thank you guys so much for coming. We've got some really great recipes that we're going to share with you. I think we're ready for Jody to go ahead and take it away.
Hello, everyone. So the first recipe that I'm going to share with you tonight is a peppermint hot cocoa mix. And so it's meant to be put into a mason jar in a decorative way so that you can put the lid on it, wrap it with like ribbons, bows, whatever, and present it as a gift. So I'm going to walk you through how to create that. The recipe that you guys are going to receive actually is for a 32-ounce jar. And so I'm going to tell you the ingredients on the recipe, but please know that for what I'm creating right here, I've cut the recipe in half because I could only find a 16-ounce mason jar, not a double. And I only had one. In fact, my coworker has given me some fresh jam in this with her name engraved on it so that she could get her cut back. So I thought, what a great thing. I can put a hot chocolate in there for her and I can return it not empty. So that's what I'm going to do. All right. So for the peppermint hot cocoa, you're going to need a 32-ounce mason jar or two 16-ounce mason jars, 1 cup of sugar, 1 cup of unsweetened cocoa, 1 cup of powdered milk, half a cup of chocolate chips, half a cup mini marshmallows, and then 3 to 5 drops of peppermint essential oil, not peppermint tea. I have in my mind that like 1 drop of peppermint oil is the same as like 28 cups of tea. So that's why I said that. And then some crushed candy canes to go on top if you want. So I have already measured out my ingredients here. So I'm just going to kind of walk through layering it. So here's my sugar. The first thing I'm going to do is take my peppermint oil and I'm going to add, since I cut my recipe in half, I'm just going to add 3 drops. 1, 2, because it is very strong and that will be plenty. And then I'm just going to put my lid on this and I'm going to shake it around so that I can stir in that oil into my sugar. And then I'm actually going to set it to the side for a minute because it's not the first ingredient to go in our cup. I just want to make sure that it's mixed in really well. Okay, so now I'm going to kind of move that to where it goes. Okay, so we've stirred the peppermint oil into the sugar, and now we're going to start layering our ingredients into our mason jar. Okay, so we're going to start with our powdered milk. So in goes the powdered milk as our first layer of ingredients. So see, it's on the bottom. And the next thing we're going to do is put in our cocoa. Well, let me get a spoon. With my luck, it would like puff all over the place. Okay. And I want to make sure that I kind of put a good layer in it without having to really shake it around a lot because I don't want to mix it too soon with my bottom layer. So we're going to be careful putting it in there. Can you guys see? Let me put it up here a little bit. There. This stuff is super fine. And so I went to open my bag and it just poofs right out of it. So I have it all over my countertop. There's our cocoa. So I'm going to kind of flatten it out a little bit so that it creates a layer, right? I'll kind of shake it a little bit. Okay, so now we have our layer of powdered milk and we have a layer of the cocoa. So next I'm going to layer on peppermint sugar that I just made. I'm going to, oh my gosh, it smells so good. Oh, it smells so good. All right. I'm going to pour that in. Okay, so that makes another white layer. So we have a nice little candy cane effect looking thing here. And then on top of that, it's a white layer. So we want another dark layer. So we're going to add our layer of chocolate chips. Perfect. And then we're going to add a layer of our marshmallows right on top. So it's going to go white, dark, white, dark, white. Okay. And I mean, it takes it. In fact, I didn't even use all of the chocolate chips and I didn't quite use all the marshmallows and it is right here to the brim. And then I'm just going to sprinkle in for the top. I'm going to sprinkle on top a couple crushed candy cane pieces. Okay, so that's it. So easy. So then you would put a lid on it, and then you can wrap it with a bow. You can wrap it with ribbons, bows, however you want to end it. Like finish it off. When the person receives it, before they use it, they're actually going to want to, because it says that you use a third of a cup for and add it to hot water. But you're going to want to like really mix this up before you do that. Otherwise, you're going to have only adding the sugar or only adding the cocoa. So you'll need to shake it up. The person will need to shake it up before they actually use it as the ingredient to add to their hot water. But it's super cute, super easy and fast, and it's going to taste delicious with that peppermint oil inside. So there is your peppermint hot cocoa. You could do it in smaller ones and make little single ones. That way they could just dump all the contents in at once and not have to worry about mixing it before you use it as the ingredient. That would be awesome. Back to you, Kristie.
The Christmas cookie body scrub. So a 1/2 pint mason jar, 1 tablespoon of red and green nonpareil sprinkles, 1 cup of sugar, 1/4 cup of coconut oil, and 5 drops of doTERRA Madagascar vanilla essential oil. So I'm going to go ahead and mix the essential oils in with our coconut oil. So I've got our coconut oil already pre-measured, and I've got our Madagascar vanilla, which smells so good. It makes me want to bake things. So we're going to do 5 drops. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So just going to stir that up really quick so that it gets mixed in. And then it says we're going to mix in the sugar and stir. So I've got the sugar measured here. And we're going to go ahead and pour that in. Make sure I get all that yummy goodness in there. And then we're going to start to stir. This is going to take a few minutes because it's got to incorporate. And I made a few notes about Madagascar vanilla to share with you guys. You can add it to a beverage like coffee or hot chocolate. It would probably be really good in Jody's hot chocolate.
Mm-hmm.
You could blend with florals like neroli or magnolia. And you can diffuse with lavender at bedtime to give it a little bit sweeter scent. You can diffuse it with On Guard for a cozy space. And you can add it to moisturizer because it's good for your skin. It's comforting, relaxing, and inviting. So those are just a few other things you can do with the Madagascar vanilla. And if you don't have vanilla, you can use something else. I mean, you can think of all kinds of things that you can put in here. Okay, so I've got that all mixed. And now I'm going to go ahead and add our tablespoon I might have put a little extra. I like a lot. So we're going to mix that in.
That you added? What did you just add?
So this is the sprinkles. They're red and green sprinkles to make it festive. And when I show you this in the jar, you're going to love it. It's so cute. Okay, so now let me go ahead and get that spooned in there. How cute that looks with the sprinkles. Just kind of makes it a little festive, and you could do different ones for different holidays. So that's our Christmas cookie body scrub, and it smells like a cookie. So on a body scrub, when I'm in the shower and stuff, as I'm starting to get, I get myself a little bit wet, and then I just start scrubbing it on. Use a lot of my elbows or my heels, any of those spots where you have a lot of rough skin, or if you just need like a little bit of an exfoliation, you can just scrub it wherever you need to. So, and it makes a really nice little gift.
So we're going to make Play-Doh. It calls for another mason jar. I don't have one, so I'm just going to wing it with whatever I have here. But I'm going to go over the ingredients, and I did use the regular amounts of what will be included in your recipe. So we've got 2 cups of flour. We've got 2 tablespoons of cream of tartar. I have a big container of salt because I read it as 2 cups, and I poured 2 cups in here and then realized I only needed half a cup. So I'll be measuring that out as we go. 1.5 cups boiling water. I can hear my water boiling now. I've got 2 tablespoons in here of my doTERRA's fractionated coconut oil. I've already got that measured out here. And then natural food coloring, which would be an option. And then we've got 10 to 12 drops of doTERRA's lavender oil. So lavender oil is a super versatile oil. It's one of the first ones I was introduced to. It's really a go-to oil for us. It's a very versatile oil. It's very calming, relaxing. It's great to be diffused if you're ready to relax. We are going to mix this. I'm using this as my big pot. So we're going to mix the flour and the salt. Here's my half a cup of salt. Okay, and our cream of tartar in a large bowl. All right, I'm going to mix this around. Okay, and then I'm going to combine my lavender oil in my fractionated coconut oil. So here we'll 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. I'm going to stir this around just a little bit with my stirring stick. Get that mixed in. Okay, and then it says add the oil to the dry ingredients. So I'm going to pour that right in there. So, oh, it smells so good. All right, I wish I had like a clear bowl so you guys could see what I'm doing here. I'm just mixing it in. Okay, and then it says pour half a cup of boiling water into the mixture and stir and continue to pour in half a cup at a time. So I'm going to turn off my water. I'm going to pour in my first half cup. And I think a lot of my water probably evaporated out as I was boiling because I do not still have a cup in there. So it's getting kind of clumpy. You can tell that I added moisture to it. I'm going to pour in the rest of what I have, and I might need to reboil some more water. Definitely need more water. And I can hear my water's already bubbling up a little bit. So yeah, it's a little bit dry still, but it definitely is starting to take form. So I'm just going to start pouring in a little at a time. All right, so it's clumping up a little bit more, but it's still not enough. We're going to add, and there might be like elevation differences here with how much water you're going to need. So you really have to just kind of do it according to the feel of what you like and the consistency that you want. For those of you that don't know, I'm a teaching assistant in a preschool class. And so I might be taking this in for my students tomorrow. That would be fun. So I feel like this is using more water than just the cup and a half that it called for. So you guys will really like, I would recommend boiling way more water than it calls for, and then just pulling from it as you need. We're getting there, but it's use my hands. Oh, this is so cool. Okay, yeah, it's like, you guys see it? And then it would be so beautiful. It smells really good, and it would be really beautiful if it was colored like purple, or any color for that matter. If it had some color to it, you could even, once you get it to the consistency, mine's still a tiny bit crumbly, but then you can tear off little pieces of it and color them all different colors. So you would have an assortment of Play-Doh colors. So I think a tiny bit more water. Probably will do it. Ooh, that's hot. All right, so the same idea. You can take this. If you want to give the whole thing to one person, you can do different colors with it. So they have like an assortment. You could just make it all one color. You could put it into smaller containers and do little like single containers. If you have several people that you want to give it to, you can roll it up nice, plop it in a mason jar. Same thing, put a lid on it, put some nice ribbons and topping on it to close it off, and give it as a gift. But this is super cool. It feels really good. It smells really good. It's got a good consistency. It's not sticking to my hands. So there you go. Christmas Play-Doh.
The last recipe that I have for you today is actually our holiday cheer room spray. So I've got a 4-ounce glass spray bottle, and I'm going to start off with 2 ounces of witch hazel and then 2 ounces of distilled water. So I've actually got my distilled water already in my cup, and I've got some witch hazel here that I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to fill that up. So we've got 4 ounces. I probably could have just taken the whole lid off. That would have been faster, but that would be too simple. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and put that into the glass bottle. I love these little measuring cups that are silicone because you can squeeze them and use them like a funnel. I use them for a lot of different stuff. So that's pretty much it for the base of the spray. So now what we want to do is we want to do our oils. So we're going to do 10 drops of doTERRA's peppermint oil. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And then we're going to do 10 drops of our wild orange. And peppermint is really good to massage into your shoulders and back for tension. You can use it internally for digestion. You can add it to cold water compress to cool off. And you can also diffuse it for energy. So then the next one, like I said, we're going to do here is 10 drops of our wild orange. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Oh, I probably got an extra in there. And wild orange is also good for digestion and diffusing for concentration when studying, as well as diffusing for a bright, energizing aroma. It's very energizing. The last oil that I've got here for our room spray is our doTERRA Cypress. And we're going to do 10 drops of this one as well. 7, 8, 9, 10. And cypress is really good for under your eyes if you have bags, if you haven't been sleeping good. Its positive emotional properties are flexible, trusting, and adaptable. So that is something I'm going to spray on every one of my relatives for the holidays because they need it. So, and then you can put a cute little sticker on here that says holiday room spray. You can put a cute little name, holiday cheer, but basically it's, if it's going to spray, it smells like Christmas. Hopefully you have some great ideas to give gifts. We thank you all so much for coming. And I think that's it.